Hi everyone, it's Lynda Canasi with icrafter. I hope everyone had a great holiday break there. Merry Christmas if you celebrated Christmas. And I apologize, I'm still working on lighting. I got some new lighting set up and not quite sure if it's working out. You could tell it's a little hot over there and it's a little dark over here. So I'm working on it. Got to figure this out among other things that I'm working out. Let me adjust the overhead a bit. Oh, it's really dark, but okay. So, hi everyone. Thank you for watching, and if you're watching this on a replay, thank you so much. This is the last live of 2021. Not the last live permanently, but the last live of 2021. If you can, hi Melissa, happy holidays to you too. I'm going to do a project because although kind of thinking in the terms of Valentine's Day, I've been wanting to do this one winter themed card. So that's what I'm going to do today. And let me see if I have everything I need here. Oh, adhesive, that helps. Hold on. Okay. So let me turn the camera down and, oh, it's so dark down there, but okay. Let me turn the camera down and see what we get. Again, lighting is just not right today. So, okay, here we go. So, hold on, please. Can't believe this is happening right now, but this is the, well, let me show this first. First, it's going to be slimline. Let's see, I hope I'm not losing connection here. If I do, I'll be right back. Hi Cherie, happy Monday. Everything seems to be going okay. Okay, so hello. Okay, so I wanted to do a wintertime card, so I'm using our slimline knit knots and stitches, which you can't get much more warm and fuzzy than, oh, it stopped. Okay, hold on everybody. Let me, okay, I don't know if you're still watching this, everyone, but this is, let's get this going again. Okay. Let's see if we could get this. Oh my gosh, it is so dark. Let's see. Okay. Hope everyone can hear me. I'm still going. I'm sorry when a phone call came in and it cut off my camera. Let me change it to get a little more light on here. Okay, so it's terribly hot on the forward-facing camera, but it is definitely brighter here. Let's see, let me try one more thing. Okay, so I'm using the knit knots and stitches. Can you guys hear and see me now? I hope. I'm just going to chat for a little bit. Melissa, if you could give me a heads up if you can see what I'm talking about, just type in something so I know. There's a bit of a delay, so I will just keep talking a little bit and just let me know if you can see this. This is also, and I'm just going to chatter, this is our rocker step card base, and I call it a base because there's just so many more things you can do with this, but it is just an adorable die because you have not just the rocker card, but you also have the flowers and a lot of leaves and some phrases in there. Oh, okay. Thank you, Melissa. So, okay, so we have the knit, knots, and stitches and the rocker step card base. And so what I am doing is I cut a lot of the knit, knots, and stitches. It's this shape die. And I cut it out of a fairly strong white, really nice basil white cardstock. And what I'm going to do, I'm doing a slimline card. So these are designed for slimline cards. So that is where I'm going to start, but obviously white on white isn't going to work, so I also cut a piece of red cardstock to fit. So let me go ahead and show you the knitting part of this die. So just to explain, let me put this dark background behind it so you can see. If you look at the die itself, there is one loop side that is a little flatter. Can you see that? So the flatter part, the top loop, and it's connected all along. And then there is the rounder loops that are not connected, and I've set those near the bottom. Okay. So to knit, what you want to do is line them all up so the rounder shape, and they do lock together very easily as you're laying them out, so they will get tangled. So I always lay them out first, and always with the rounder part near the bottom. And let me move this up a little bit. Okay. So you want to start with one that has a flatter side at the top and the rounder side at the bottom, and you take another strip, and I'm going to lay this on top just so you can see it easier. And then from the back side, and let's go in just a bit. From the back side, you want to curve it slightly and tuck it in from the back into the loop in front of it. So this is sort of the principle being how knitting ends up looking. So this is actually knitting with paper. Okay. So this makes sense. It's going through, and you just kind of continually loop it through. I was going to, oops. Now the thing is, you do have to fold it as it goes in, but because it's paper, if you don't do a sharp fold, it goes in very nicely and then flattens out when it comes out. So you just want to tuck it in. And like I said, I was thinking of doing some rows beforehand, which maybe I should have done because it does just kind of get a little monotonous. But it's really simple. It's a fun thing to do maybe while you're watching television or something, and you just kind of go. So just knitting along. Now you could do different colors. I could show you real quickly on the sample on the packaging. It is like an ombre effect because there were 6 different colors of cardstock that I cut. This is what this is going to be is looking like a real kind of sweater look. So it'll be all one color. So I'm just going to keep going there. And as you can see, when you get to the last one, you just kind of stretch it up like that. And then you start on the next one. And again, you always want the rounded one at the bottom. And you come in and you hook it through the base of that. And you just keep going. If you wanted to do this, now this is about or this is 8.5 inches long, so it's a slimline size when you cut it. If you wanted to do it longer for, say, like a 12-inch scrapbook sheet page, what you could do is stagger them and start at different places so they end up visually connecting together. I'll do that as another project sometime to show, explain what I'm talking about. But it is doable. I've also done it on a project where it came into a complete circle, so it wrapped it around a vase kind of thing, a jar. Now you see this one is very folded. It just flattens out again when you unfold it. And also when you glue it down to your, say, the front of your card, it will also hold flatter. Now this is okay, let me see. So just gonna go through, and again, you could do it different colors. You can do it as long as you want, or you could do as many strips as you want. I'm just doing, I think I cut 6. So once you do that too, the other thing you can notice is that it stretches. It goes in and out. Tighter looks very like a very tight knit. If you stretch it out, it looks like a much looser knit. I tend to stretch it out, but something I also realize is that if you keep it tighter together, oh, well, let me explain why I stretch it out. It takes fewer rows, so you could do the front of a card with fewer colors or fewer rows of this, but if you tuck it together, it looks much more like a knit sweater, if that makes sense. Because I don't know if anyone here knits. This is basically, without a needle, kind of the look that you get when you're knitting. So it's one continuous strand that hooks into each other. So you can just keep going and going. I just love the idea because I love needle arts. I love crochet and embroidery and things like that. And knitting, I am not an expert by any means on knitting, but I can knit if I have to. My main thing is I love crochet. There's something about that is just so cool. I love embroidery. So if I wasn't working with paper all the time, I'd probably be doing needle arts as well. Making quilts. Oh, don't get me started on fabric. So let me just keep going with this. This is just, it actually is very relaxing. Oh, Will, hi! Hold on. While I'm doing this, let me see what you're saying. Hello. Oh, Phantom of the Opera. Oh, the Royal Albert Hall. I stayed near the Royal Albert Hall when I was in London. Beautiful. Yes. Okay, so I'm just basically, oh, you crochet, yes. Crocheting is so relaxing too. It's one of those things where, other than counting your stitches, it's like a mindless kind of relaxing form. Yeah, I love crochet. I haven't figured out how to do a paper crochet look, but it could be doable. Also, I've done macrame. Now, before the COVID lockdown hit, I had done a macrame project, and is it Leisure Arts Magazine, the big crafting magazine, contacted me and they wanted to feature it in one of their books. And I was so excited. I sent them the project and it was so cool. It was so exciting. And then COVID hit. And as far as I know, they never, or they haven't yet, published that magazine or book. It was going to be in a book. So someday, if Leisure Arts comes out with a macrame book, I may have a project in there. I may not. I don't know. But macrame is another one of those kind of fun crafts. So, okay. So, Will, who's starring in The Phantom that you watched? I've only heard the audio book on The Phantom. I've never watched a play or a movie. Heard it is absolutely wonderful, but I love audiobooks. I don't know if everyone else does, but it's one of those things that you can listen to things. So I'm almost done with this. And as you can tell, as you're chatting away, you could just kind of be knitting this as you go. But I hope this isn't too macrame since I was in grade school. I don't know if they'll ever publish that, Melissa. I just had so much fun doing it because I hadn't done it in years, and I know it's become very, like modern macrame kind of stuff, and so I just had fun with it. And maybe on my because I have a personal Instagram too that I put photos of. Maybe I'll post a picture of it there, and just, I don't know, I think it might confuse icrafter followers if I show a macrame project on with all our paper crafting. Okay, so there it is, and you could see how cool that looks. Now, I did 6 rows because I wanted to fill up this front of the red panel, and you can see it overlaps on the side. Let me put it this way. You can see it overlaps on the side, so after I glue it down, I can trim it off. But you can see, you can either crunch it together so it's nice and tight, and then it does look like more of a knit look, or you can stretch it out and it gives kind of a looser knit sweater look. It depends, I think, how wide this final panel is that you might want to do. So I want to use all 6 stripes. I don't want to cut any of it off. So I'm going to glue this down, and I will show you. Let's see. Oh, wow. Crochet and knit. Wow. Okay. Like I said, I knit, but I cannot say that I am like as well versed in it as I am in crocheting. But I enjoy it, so I do it, and I would never, yeah, I don't know. It's fun. Okay, so what I'm going to do, I'll show you how I attach it. I turn it over, and because it is such a open knit looking thing, obviously, you can't apply adhesive all the way across and expect it to stay down. So, oh, let me explain too. So this is an A2 or a slimline card. It is the typical 8.5 by 3.5. So what I did with this, I cut it down 1/4 of an inch shorter, so it'll fit inside on all. There'll be a white edge on it all. So just to let you know what I'm working with that, and that's why I will have to trim off the sides. So, okay, so this is I'm working on the back side of it, and I'm going to start by adding some adhesive along the top here. And this is also just like the whole knitting process. It's a slow, steady kind of step-by-step process. And what I'm going to do then, I hope I don't have glue down there. So I just put it right along the top. So what I'm going to do, well, I'm going to stand up because it's easier to see this. And I'm kind of doing halfway across on both sides. So, well, I'll explain what I'm doing in a second. I'm lining up across the top, and I have a little bit hanging over here and a little bit hanging over here. But like I said, I just glued along the top, so I'm letting it align up there. Okay. Now, what you can do as you go down is add a little adhesive along the way. Kind of let that dry a little bit so it holds better. Okay, so now you could just kind of turn it up, and what I would recommend is maybe gluing, like, not every single row unless you want to. I'm just gluing, like, folding it up and doing a couple rows down, because it will hold in place once it's down there, not going to go anywhere. Now the thing too is I want it to line up with the bottom, so this next row that I'm doing, I put some adhesive down, and I'm just making sure it will allow me to get to the bottom and hold in the middle. I don't know, I'm trying to talk and think at the same time, so I'm just kind of going across, holding down where the adhesive is in the middle there. Okay, so we're doing a couple rows there. Now we're just going to fold this last row up, and I'm going to put a little more adhesive on here because I want it to really hold on this bottom edge, and just kind of go around. It really is just, it's not a fast card to make, but it really is an easy one once you understand how it works. Okay, so now I'm on the bottom row. I'm going to pull this up a little bit. And so now, let me get my grip die pick, and I'm going to align that along the bottom. So it's going to come out very finished looking because it's going to look like it's custom fit to this, which it really is actually. So, and again, you can make it 6 rows fit across a whole front of a slimline card. You could make it fit against this whole piece, which is 3.5 inches, but this is only 3 inches, and you can see that it fits nicely across that as well. And the other thing, once I press this down a little bit, oh, thank you, Will. Yes, like the show, subscribe, follow, all that stuff. Okay, so what I want to show you too is that you can see it, if I get it in the camera, it all fits in there. I will trim off an edge there, and you may need to go back in and attach just along the edge to make sure it holds down, but you can see how that works. And you want to do that. Let's trim that off. Let me go ahead, and this is really simple. Just going to press it down nice and tight, and just go across the back side, and okay, and just up this side. And like I said, you may, and I could never get this stuff, it's wonderful mat, but it doesn't. So some of these edges, if they're loose, you might want to tighten that down with a little adhesive, but we're going to, hold on 1 second. I have my tape runner. We're going to adhere this to the front of our card now. So, and just some tape runner. And I'm going to say, tape runner always runs out when I'm on camera. And I didn't think it would really do that, but it did. So So I would really recommend like this to be the tape runner, but you get what you get. Okay, so I'm going to just lay this down centered on the front of the card, and we still have a lot more to do to this because, and of course you could do any color background that you want. So now what I'm going to do is use some pieces from the Rocker Step Card die. And the reason I want to do that, okay. So what I want to do, someone on my design team did some poinsettias, because there's so many different colors now, not just red. Someone did it in a beautiful pink and color, so I just absolutely love that. So I thought I'd pick that up because this red background definitely could use a little variation to it. So I cut out enough to make 3, but I'm going to do something different here. And I talk about this. This is the foam pad that comes with their iPress burnisher. Now, I always talk about the bone folder side, but I rarely talk about the ball side. So this is basically what it does. Can you see that? Let me do it on a lighter pink one. And it works really well for flowers. But if you just take the ball part, and I'm sure everyone knows about this, but I'm just going to share it because I never get a chance to talk about the flower making part. If you just do that, look at the dimension you get there. So I'm just going to, actually with this flower, you don't need as much dimension. I kind of went crazy on that one, so I'm just adding a little bit. Also the same flower petals, you can cut it with the green, and that makes obviously the leaves, because somewhere I read too that those on real poinsettias, those really are just colored flowers, are just colored leaves on them. Don't quote me on that, but that's what I read. I know I love these flowers. They came out so fun looking because there are so many variations on them. I should even do these little itty bitty centerpieces. So there's just so many things you can do with these. And like I said, the typical one is red, but how much fun are these? You see the pink ones nowadays, and just so much fun. Okay, so I actually should have cut more of the petals. I usually like to do about 2 of each color, or each size, but obviously I didn't. For whatever reason, I just cut 1 of each. So it's going to be a little bit of a sparse flower. Again, I would recommend 2 of each size. Oh, that's just funny. So, okay. Definitely, just saying, 2 of the large petals in pink would look a lot better. Just noticing that. But, you know, crafting on live, you get what you get. So, again, I don't know, Will, did you have a good Boxing Day? I was told that the English do not do sports if Boxing Day falls on a Sunday, and yet I saw there was soccer on. So who's your team, Will? Oh, I'm sorry, football. Who's your football team over there? Who do you root for? Thank you. Yes, I love these flowers. I think they're just so pretty. They're so subtle, especially when you do it like these colors are just gorgeous. The lighter pink. Now, I'm just going to add the center, and I did the centers in a gold foil cardstock for a reason. And I will show you in a second what that is. So, okay, so the flowers have flattened out quite a bit since Okay, you made it in white with the 3 petals. Yes, that was just so pretty. I love that. That was gorgeous. I think it does definitely add a lot more to it by adding more petals, but you could keep sculpting the flowers. I just kind of, just adding a little pressure right there. I don't know, can you see that? It gives it a little more depth, a little more realism to it. I love that. Anyway, okay, so those are my flowers for this project, but there is one more thing that I had to do for this. Okay, so you had 2 Christmas dinners in 2 days. Oh my gosh, I don't think I could have eaten any more food. For some reason, I got a lot of chocolate this year. Not that I'm complaining, definitely not complaining. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to add these flowers. Now again, you could do foam dots to them, but what I had the most fun is, let's see if you could see this, in this set with the rocker card is the sentiment warm wishes. And I was thinking, with the knitting, nothing says warm wishes quite like knit. So that was the thinking behind it. Actually, on these flowers too, wouldn't that be lovely to ink the edges? Ooh, that might be something I do again later when I make another one of these. But other thing too is adding foam dots to make it dimensional. I'm just going to add some adhesive in the middle. I do recommend probably doing a little more permanent way of holding these down, like foam dots. I'm just going to add it like that. And then I'm going to add the warm wishes. Now I did this out of gold, and the reason I did the centers in gold was to echo the gold in the phrases. Now it's kind of hard to see. It looks a lot better when you see it in person. I have to decide where I want it to go. I think there and there in the center. Yeah, probably something like that. So I'm just going to add some adhesive. American rugby. Hi, Rebecca. How are you? Oh, that's right. The Brits call it rugby, but we call it... Wait, no. Don't you call it handball? Our football is like handball to you guys. Okay. So I'm having a whole English discussion with Will. Okay. Let me add the warm wishes down here. Happy holidays to everyone. Oh, okay. Since Rebecca's here and she has to mute the sound, I'm going to do this. This is from Rebecca's group, or from her company, Make It by Marco. Wonderful, absolutely wonderful adhesive holder. Use it all the time, all the time. It's always here. So So thank you, Rebecca. Hello, Cindy Ellen. So you guys call rugby but isn't rugby used without any kind of protective gear? I don't remember. I have to ask my boyfriend about that one. Okay. So now I'm going to stagger this a little bit and ungrip that. So, I don't know. You know what? I realize when I do these videos, I cannot imagine without all my tools handy. So, it's just one of those things of grabbing that. But with more padding. Oh, okay. Hi, Cindy Ellen. Rebecca, I think your site is Make It by Marco, M-A-R-K-O. This is an older piece. I don't know if you still sell it just on makeitbymarco.etsy.com. She may have another site. I honestly cannot recommend it enough. There's also tons of colors, but also different sizes of tools or different types of stamps. Anyway, but I digress. So here is, can you see that? The warm wishes. I'm trying to get that to show. It has a hard time. I see that now. Hard time showing up against the knitted background, but in person, because it is gold, you can see it very nicely. I think it's really fun because it is one of those things that you tie in the warm wishes with the knitting. Oh, good. I'm glad you, Cindy Ellen, I'm glad you loved your click pick. I click die pick. And Will, you ain't afraid of bumps and bruises. You guys play really rough. I can tell you that. But anyway, so here's the flowers on there. And Melissa, I think you're right. Maybe 3 of the large pink to just fill it out a lot more. I love the little bit of dimension that makes it pop a little bit. So this is the warm wishes. I think the phrase just works so perfectly with the knit, and that was, yes. So Will lives in the UK. I think he lives in the south of South London. I'm not sure. Yeah, see, Will's in the UK. So yes, gold foil is hard to pick up on camera. It doesn't show up very, oh, there, you can kind of see it. It's going to be interesting to photograph this. But, okay, I'm going to shift my lights because I turned them all down here to show this. And I will be right back so that I can turn the camera because I look like a ghost right now on camera. So hold on. Maybe that's, oh, there. Okay, that's a little bit better. I'm going to have to figure out a way to be able to switch this around and have light nicely down on the desk and not just blow me out of the water with lights on me, because now the desk looks very dark. I'll figure this out. I bought some new lighting, light box, softbox wrap for my lights here, which is supposed to diffuse it, which is great. It's just still bright. Southeast coast of Hastings. Time for tea. Oh, that's funny. Oh, Heffy Doodle carries your product in the UK. Oh, that's cool. Yes, soccer is football to them. And they also do not wear a lot of I mean, they take bumps and bruises all the time. And they play football in the snow. Yeah, in the snow, in the rain. Unbelievable. Anyway, future reference, I am a Leicester fan. Leicester City. Because my sister-in-law lives in Leicester. So, of course, I'm also a kind of a Ricardian. Just as a side note, I believe Richard III was a good king. And this is irrelevant to everything. It's just that I'm an Anglophile. My boyfriend's English. Love English stuff. So that is why I know this stuff. So anyway, that is my Lunchtime with Lynda, making a wintertime card. Please leave me a comment. Here's my question this time, and I'm kind of looking to shift to... Well, let me put it this way. Okay, so I can do a live video like this, and I love everyone chatting in here. It's not necessarily, it's a little choppy because things like interruptions of phone calls and stuff like that. Or I can shoot something a little more smoothly and edit it and have it presented as a... at a more opportune time in the day for people to watch. So I'm sending out a questionnaire to people watching this, whether on recorded or live. Which would you prefer, to see this continue to be live and oh, Cindy Ellen, your youngest lives in Norwich. So back to my question is, like, do you want this to continue live and see kind of like the what's going on here, kind of the craziness of that, and I love interacting with everybody live? Or would you prefer to see it taped and put on later, and it would be similar format, me just chatting and putting together projects here and posting it, but it would be probably in the early evenings or the weekends when it would be published or go live or go on the channel. So leave a comment, let me know. I've just been playing with this idea just to keep it fresh, so that people can actually see things when they can. So leave a comment, let me know. You do like the live? Okay. I don't collect everything. Well, I do have tea and all kinds of British stuff. I really do. Things end up here that are very British. What can I say? But I am fascinated with English history. I don't know if you could see, oh, you can't see it in this shot, but sometimes in my video you could see my bookcase a little that way. And I do have my collection of Richard III books, which is really weirdly geeky. Very geeky. Okay, so you like the lives too? Okay. I open it up to the question because honestly, you never know what I'm going to come out. I didn't plan to talk about England and being a Ricardian, but I am an Anglophile. So anyway, I want to thank everyone. The other thing too, if I did tape it, I could get the lighting a lot better. But I'm just saying. Anyway, please leave a comment with that. I would love to see what people are thinking and see if I'm going to shift it or not. And I want to wish everyone a happy, and safe new year. Let's just, hope and pray and think positive thoughts that, we'll get this COVID thing under control. I just wish everyone, a happy, healthy end of 21 and a very prosperous and happy and healthy 2022. This is going to be a great year, very exciting. So I just want to wish everyone a end of 2021, and thank you all for watching. Again, make sure you let me know what if you like these live interactions. Oh, I didn't know that, Cindy Ellen. You're first generation from the UK. Oh, interesting. That's interesting. I know, well, it wouldn't be Lunchtime with Lynda. It would be, I don't know, something else. I'm not sure what I was going to call it. Do live. Oh, thank you, Will. Could we go live later? The thing with the timing with lives, well, okay, wait. I'll open it to the third question. If it were to go live, what time, if I continue to do, it doesn't even have to be lunchtime. I'm just saying, if it goes live, if I do this live, what would be a better time? Okay, I opened those three questions. Do you like me to continue Lunchtime with Lynda like I'm doing every Monday? Do you want, or would you rather see a recorded, kind of Lunchtime with Lynda, but recorded and played back at a more opportune time? Or what time would be best suggestion for a sometime with Lynda, craft time with Lynda? So anyway, leave me a comment. Thank you so much. It's been a great, wonderful 2021, and I still see comments coming in. Oh, Will, you are so sweet. Anyway, yes, 2022. Oh, thank you, Cindy Ellen. Yes, and you know what? This is going to be a great year, and things are just going to be 7 p.m. Eastern Time, which would be 4 p.m. California time. So it'd be dinner time. Well, wait, British don't call it dinner. Supper time? Supper time with Lynda? Dinner time? Anyway, please, everyone give your suggestion. Will, you could even give a suggestion on UK time, and I will try to translate that into Pacific time. Anyway, I know Lunchtime with Lynda is catchy. Either I'd have to change it to dinner time and change my name, or find a new name. So anyway, this is really fun. You know what? I'm almost thinking I'd have to keep it live because I love seeing the comments. I love the energy. Will cracks me up. But you know what? This is kind of exciting. I found out about Cindy Ellen being from the UK. So Cindy Ellen, I've never heard your voice. I assume you have an accent if you're first generation. That is so cool. Anyway, thank you all for watching. I'll see you. It looks like I'll see you live on Monday, right after the new year. Have a safe and happy new year, and 2022 is going to be a great year. So thanks all for watching. I hope you enjoyed that project.